We're actually up on the Broads today for a different reason than pleasure. We came across this old boat. There's a guy who lives on it, and he's getting really cold because he's only got a log burner. So today I've got him a diesel heater. So we're going to fit this diesel heater in for him and save him a bit of money, because at the minute he's burning 15 to 16 pounds per 24 hours on coal. So if I fit the diesel heater, that should reduce his bills by a lot. So we're doing it all on the budget. The boat's being done up slowly, but obviously you need some heat in it. So we'll get on with that, and I'll show you as we go along how to install the diesel heater in an old wooden boat. Just getting this heater unpacked, see what we've got. I'm guessing it's the usual stuff. A cheap little silencer there. What is actually no good for a boat. A lot of the Jubilee clips that come with it are not much good. But you can use this silencer in a van, but not in a boat. It won't pass its boat safety. I'll get it out and we'll go from there. Just getting it out. You've got that's the fuel pump. You've got your controller there. There's all your bits and pieces, and the remote control key fob, and obviously the diesel heater. Some bits, some instructions. So there's a plate on the bottom of the diesel heater, and the bottom there's your fuel tank. I'm just trying to make a bit of space as we go along, because this is a very little confined space here. So whatever I can get out, there's your remote control and your actual controls on the wall. Just got the diesel heater out. If you're doing this, remember the one where the fuel goes onto here, that's where your fuel goes in, that is next to the air intake. So the one furthest away is your exhaust. This is your wiring loom. You've got 3 ends on there. One goes to your controller, that bit. Then you've got this bit goes on to the diesel pump, and this one connects to the actual heater itself. This has come with this green fuel hose, but this hose is totally useless because it just bends like that. So if it does come with this green hose, you just need to throw this away and buy yourself some proper hose. This stuff is, why they give it to you, I don't know. It just folds like that. Sometimes it comes with a hard white hose which you can use, but you're probably better off just buying some proper fuel hose. You've got the tank there. You've got a standpipe that comes with it, which you can drill a hole and fit in the tank. We'll have a look at that in a minute. And sometimes there's one inside that you can just put into the bottom here, which I don't really like that system, because if it for some reason was to leak, it would just keep going. Whereas if you use this standpipe, if the pump stops, diesel can't go. It's just stops everything. These Jubilee clips, what they give you with it for your exhaust and stuff, you're better off just getting rid of them and buying some decent Jubilee clips, because they're very difficult to do up and they go rusty really quickly. I've got some little bag of goodies here that we have to sort out, because we need the 4 nuts, which is these ones. Them 4, because they're what we use for this plate. Well, our first job is to get this plate on the bottom here. To do that, you've got to take this little black piece of rubber off, which is where your fuel intake is. This black rubber, make sure it's pushed all the way down and on properly. Sometimes it's not even on there, you have to put it on separately. But if it is, make sure it sits all nicely on there. And if you look on here, I've actually got another hole here, which sits over the top of that. Get that in there, and really just bolt this on. That's our first steps. And just find the spanner and tighten them up. And it might pay you once you've done this, just put that little black cap back on there, just a little bit, just make sure no dirt can get in your fuel piece. And remember, the fuel is closest to the air intake. The one furthest away is your exhaust. This is your little thin hose, like I was saying, is your air intake. You get that onto there and get the Jubilee clip around the bottom to hold it in place. But what you may find, same as this one, I was saying about these Jubilee clips that come with it, they're not much use. This one doesn't even fit on there. I already know that these Jubilee clips are not very good, so I've actually come armed with some different Jubilee clips, a bit better quality. These are definitely a bit better quality than them, obviously. You can see the differences there. And then two lots of Jubilee clips. I mean, even these are not the best quality, but they're definitely a lot better, because this heater's being fitted on the budget, because these are about £1.50, £2. But if you buy actual really good quality exhaust Jubilee clips, they're about £10–12 each. So, and this, the budget on this boat just doesn't stretch to spending that much money on Jubilee clips, as these will do. Once you get that on, just tighten that one up a bit, just to hold it in place. So that's your air intake at the moment. And this one's your exhaust, remembering it's the one what's furthest away. I don't actually know which way this exhaust is going, so we're just gonna get it on there for now. But I will actually, before I put this on, bolt it up, I'm gonna go up to my van and get some exhaust paste. Once you've got that done up a bit, holding it in place here, get your Jubilee clip up there. Then you've got this, well, so-called air filter, which just goes into there. I'm gonna just put the exhaust on now. I've got a bit of exhaust paste just to go on it. I'm just going to put a little bit of exhaust paste around here. And just get that all the way around. Just with your finger a bit. Like I say, it's not absolutely necessary, but I've got it anyway, so I might as well use it up. And get your exhaust on. Get that bolted on nicely, tight. Doesn't have to be excessive, but still got to be tight, obviously. And then once you've got that tight, it's time to have a look at the silencers. I'll show you the differences. This is the little silencer what came with it, what you can use in the van. If you are using it, there's a little hole in the bottom there that needs to go to the bottom, so it goes that way with the hole here. But this is the one I've actually bought for this boat. It's not the best silencer in the world, but for the budget we've got, it will do. And this one's about £22–24, whereas the one I've got on my boat is over £50. So this is a budget, so we're using this one. And remember, this has got holes in the bottom there as well. The holes go to the bottom, and the reason for that is if you get any damp or condensation, that it can drip out instead of making your silencer go rotten. This is your through hole fixing, what you've got to get for your exhaust. Now these range in price, that you can go anywhere from like £20–25 up to £50–60. You get these two bits to go with it. Obviously that's going to go on, that'll go through there onto your outside, and that will, I don't know if you can see that, go onto there, and you put some bolts for it, just nut and bolt, which also come with it. So you just got to measure what size you want, what this is, the diameter, this bit here, and drill a hole through your boat. And I've got it with this bit pointing downwards at the minute, but I prefer these because I like to turn it like that and put the exhaust pipe going like that, so you could never ever get water come from outside in here and going down, because if it did, it's not going to go uphill, it will just run back out, but you should never get water in it. So now we've got this coming off of the actual diesel heater, so you could either do it now, or if you can get to it easily, just put your diesel heater all in place, then do this, get your clamp on like that, just a bit of exhaust paste, remember holes at the bottom, they've got to go, and that just goes onto there. Do it up, and if you got, same here, bit of paste if you've got it, and that will go with the same pipe as this to your through hole fixing, what I just showed you, and then your exhaust system is pretty much complete. This is our diesel tank, a 10 litre one, standpipe, it's got to go into the tank. You just take this, cut it to whatever length you want for in here. Got to drill a hole this size, but remember by the neck here is a little bit bigger, so I'm just going to measure that 7mm. So if I drill an 8mm hole in this tank, then I can cut this to the right length. Once you've got that, just drill your hole roughly where you want it. That's it, so I've got a hole through. Just make sure you don't get any bits in that tank. It's obviously in your fuel. There it is. I'm just going to give it a rough guess like this. I showed you that green hose, what was no good. This is the other type of rigid hose what comes with it, which you can actually use, but ideally this is the proper good hose for it. This is the good hose, this is okay, and the green hose is just useless. But if you do want to use this, you get this little bit comes with it. You have to cut just a little piece off, put it on the end of your tank, and you have to get that into there. Put that in there, and then you put one of the little clamps what come with it. And if you're on a budget, you can actually use it. Like I say, if you can afford it, just buy the prop hose, then that one goes into there, and then that will then go along. You'll put another piece of this in between and put it onto your fuel filter. we've got the diesel heater put together under there. I don't know if you can see that, but we're just about going to take this flooring up and see how we get it underneath here. See what we've got. This is actually where it's going in. I'm just going to measure now what size hole we need to go, what the diameter of this is, and this is 38 millimeters. So we've got to drill a hole in there, and obviously once we've got this through the side of the boat, this rubber will go on the outside, the plate on the inside, and then you've got these what go through it and you bolt it up. So let's find ourselves a core bit to drill this 38. So I'll probably do that at 40, because I will probably put some heat-proof lagging around this as well. Not that it's absolutely necessary, but another thing I just like to do. I'm just looking through what I've got, and the closest match that I've got is a 42 mil. So I'm going to use that. It'll be fine by the time I get the lagging round. Means it gives me 4 mil over to get the lagging round. So I've got some here I want to just put round it before I put it in there. It's going to be easier for me to drill from outside, because obviously I've got to get that through. It's gone a bit rusty sitting in that box, but it still works fine. I'm actually going to drill a 5.5 hole through from the inside, and then go and drill it from the outside, because it'd just be easier, because the boat is sitting really high in the water. I've drilled the little pilot hole there. Now let's go find it on the outside. I found the hole there. That was my pilot hole I done. I've just started doing the bigger hole to go through. I've just put the through hole fixing in, and now we've just got to tighten it up out here. Then we can get back into the boat and get the exhaust and silencer on. Don't know if you can actually see it, but I've got the bit of exhaust on there on the through hole fixing. I've just put the silencer in between, put a bit of a paste around the end, and now I'm just going to connect it to the one from the diesel heater. I've already put some heat wrap all around that bit and the other bit on the diesel heater, so I'll just get that connected up. Well, we've got the heater in place, silencer in. Silencer's still got to be wrapped. So now I've just put in the wiring loom in. You've got the 3 ends, like I was showing you before. They only go one way, so you can't mix them up. That is obviously the one to the heater. Now I've got the one here just to put onto the programmer, and the other one just goes on to the diesel pump. So, and you can't do them wrong, so they're all different shapes and sizes, so just connect them up. You literally have just got to put them together. It's a bit difficult one-handed, but I'll give it a quick go. That's it, and just clip them in. That's it, it's done. We've just connected it up. It's only temporary for now, just to get some diesel through the pipe. I've put the cables on, like I said to you. That one, if you note which way round that diesel pump is, the cables go on where the diesel's coming out. This is just to test it out, and tomorrow we can install it properly. Just want to see if it actually fires up and works before we put too much effort into it all. Filter, the fuel pump, just make sure you keep that fuel pump at 45-degree angle, stop any air bubbles. it's all just in temporary to give us some heat for now, just pumping through into the cabin now, and then once it's there we'll install it properly. But for now it's working. This is exactly the same how you would install it normally, just you do it all a bit tidier, and the tank needs to be fixed. But that's coming out and it's going into the actual fuel tank of the boat, so it's just temporary now, just to give us some heat in this boat while we're working on it. So that's pretty much how you connect your diesel heater up.